Hey guys, and welcome to another episode tutorial with me, Joseph Evans, author of the Secret Sequence books and the Phoenix Prophecy, the Ember Effect, Soulbound, The Secret of Ring, The Last Goodbye, and Glitch Girl. If you find my tutorials helpful and you'd like me to continue making them, please take a quick moment to check out my Patreon page and see the different ways that you can support me. If you do decide to support me, you can get a range of rewards as a thank you from me, including early access to these tutorials, voting on what tutorials I make, episode goodie bags, shoutouts for you and your stories, and even personal help from me. You can also get certain rewards by becoming a member of my channel right here on YouTube. All you need to do is click the join button underneath this video, or click the first link in the description of this video. Okay, today I'm going to be showing you how to get your characters underneath bed sheets. Now, when I first started writing for episode, there was no such thing as overlays, and I had to have my characters lying on top of their duvets in every scene where they were in bed. Which, let's face it, isn't really realistic because I'm pretty sure there are not many of us who sleep like that unless it is the height of summer and you're absolutely sweltering. Thankfully, with overlays, it is now possible to create the effect that your character or characters are underneath the duvet, and it's really not that difficult to do. First, I'll show you just how easy it is to have your character lying under their duvet in one of the official bedroom backgrounds. So I'm going to choose this wooden hotel official background, and what I need to do is cut out this purple duvet in some kind of image editing program, then upload that as an overlay. Okay, so there are lots of image editing programs out there, but most of them will charge you for anything other than a free trial. Thankfully, there is one image editor that is completely free to use, and that is GIMP. Now, I talk a lot about this program, how to get it and how to use it in my How to Create Custom Backgrounds tutorial, which I am now linking in the card in the top right of this video. So if you want more details on how to get this, definitely check that video out first. Okay, with GIMP open, I need to go to File and New, and the correct dimensions for a 3-zone episode background is 1920 pixels by 1136 pixels. Then I need to copy and paste the background into my new document. Then I just need to click on this green button at the bottom of the Layers panel, which just confirms that we want to add this to our overall image. And to cut out the duvet, I need to go over and click on the Free Select tool, which is this one right here in this panel on the left. And then I just need to start making points all around the duvet until I have the entire thing selected. Now, of course, you are going to want to be a little bit more precise than I am being here. I'm just doing this fast for the purpose of this tutorial. Okay, now I just need to hit the return key just to confirm that that is the correct selection, and then copy and paste that using Command C and Command V, or of course Control C and Control V if you're on a Windows computer. And then once again press this green button at the bottom of the Layers panel to confirm and add that to our overall image. And now if we turn off the visibility of the original layer using this eye right here in the panels, you can see that we have a duvet overlay ready to go. Now, most people would save this as a PNG at this point and use it like it is, which is perfectly fine, but I'm going to give you guys a tip that will make your duvets really stand out from the crowd. Now, at the moment, this is looking pretty flat, as if there's nobody underneath it. So how about we warp it so that it looks like somebody's body is underneath? First of all, we need to expand this layer's boundary size. So control click on this layer, or right click if you're on a Windows computer, and click Layer Boundary Size, and then increase the height to about 150% of what it already was. Then drag the image down to the bottom of the boundary, because we want this empty space at the top here so that we can pull these bed sheets up. Okay, click Resize, then go to the Tools menu at the top, Transform Tools, and then Warp Transform. And now go all the way over to the far left of the screen and click on this icon here that looks like a canvas on a stand. That will load up the options for the warp tool. And then increase the size to something about this in relation to the duvet that you're using. And then click on your duvet and drag upwards. And as you can see, it is now magically starting to look like there are actual bodies underneath. And now it looks like the duvet is actually lying on top of somebody's body rather than just lying on a flat empty mattress. Okay, that is perfect. Now all I need to do is crop this down so we don't have all this white space around, and then export that as a PNG and upload it as an overlay. So to crop, I go over to the panel again and click on this one here, and just drag a rough box around the duvet there, hit the return key, make sure I turn off the white background because we of course want this to be transparent. Then I go to File, Export, and I'm going to name this purple_duvet. Now mine has automatically defaulted the file type to .png, which is what we want, but if yours doesn't default to that, all you have to do is click this one here, select file type, and you'll be able to select PNG from the list. Okay, let's export that, and it's going to give us a few options here. Don't worry about any of these, just click export. Let's go back to the writer's portal, click on overlays, upload to your account. I'm sure you know how to upload overlays. Success. Okay, back to our script, and to add the duvet in there, all I need to do is write with and then my overlay's name. Now of course I could instead write at overlay purple duvet create and then set the opacity to 1 in the next line. But if you're only using one overlay in a scene, it is usually easier to just use this with command. The reason being that if you do it this way, it automatically sets the opacity to 1, which is completely visible. Whereas if you use the create overlay command, it automatically sets the opacity to invisible, and you have to manually set that to 1. So now let's put a character in here. I've created one just called girl. So at girl stand screen center. It doesn't really matter where we put it at this point because we're going to be moving her around anyway when we preview it. And let's just have her facing left. And on the next line, I need to have her in one of the sleeping or laying positions. So let's use sleep, lay, uncomfortable loop. Cool, now let's save and preview so that we can move her around. Okay, so she is not visible at the moment, and that is because she's in one of the sleeping positions. So let's just use the spot helper to just bring her up a little bit. There we go. And let's scale her down. And there we go. I think that looks about right. And to move our duvet overlay, let's just click on overlay helper and drag that one. And instantly you can see that this is pretty much working. Let's just zoom in a bit so that it's a bit more central. And maybe we'll scale the overlay up a little bit just so it's not overlapping the original. And so that we can't see any rough edges. Now if I don't want to copy and paste all of these changes I've just made individually, I can actually use this copy stage button, which is really handy, a real time saver. And I can paste this in at the beginning of my script, and then we're going to want to remove the at girl stand screen center because we've replaced this with a different position now. But we do want to keep the fact that she's facing left, so let's just delete the first part of this and just keep the at symbol, and then we can move this up here to make it a bit neater, and that will give us this scene here that we just made. And of course, at times you're very likely going to want to have another character in the bed at the same time, so why don't we copy and paste the spot directing we've got for the girl here and change this to Guy, who is another character that I've made. And let's make sure he's facing the same direction. And let's have him performing the idle, lay, awake, neutral loop animation. And before I preview, it is important to make sure that my male character is in the correct layer because we want him to be behind our female character. To do this, of course, we just have to put him in a layer that is at a lower number than what the female character's in. So she's in layer 3, let's move the guy to layer 2. So at guy moves to layer 2. Okay, so now you would think that this would place him in the same position as the girl, and then we could just move him over to the right a little bit. But watch what happens when I preview. He's nowhere to be seen, and that is because he is all the way over to the right, And he's facing the wrong direction, which he shouldn't be because we've told the scripts for him to face the exact same direction as the girl. Unfortunately, I do not have any explanation for this. Some of the sleeping and laying animations face one way, and some of them face the other way, so it is going to take a bit of trial and error to get your characters the same. So since this is clearly incorrect, I just have to change left to right. So let's preview this again. And now we can just drag him slightly over to the right here, and it looks like he is in bed under the same duvet. Then just copy that exact spot directing there and just replace that one. And that is how to get your characters under bed sheets. Now, another kind of scene you might want to have in your stories is a top-down or a bird's eye view of a bed, which the camera is directly above, looking straight down onto the characters. This is a really cool way of doing scenes in bed because you can pretty much use any of the normal standing animations and it'll look like your characters are lying down. The only problem is there are no top-down views of beds in the official art catalogue, but thankfully there are some over on episodelife.com. And there are plenty on public domain image sites like Pixabay and Pexels.com. I've got one here with a duvet that has been half pulled off, which I've already cut out and made into an overlay the same way as I did with the first example. And if I put my characters in here, I can simply have them performing, let's say, flirt, finger bite sexy, and maybe flirt, wink, happy. Then just preview that and just place them into position. So maybe scale these up a little bit. And as you can see, it looks like they're doing this while they're lying in bed. Let's just copy these positions over. And if you want one or more of your characters to look like they're actually sleeping in this position, there is one animation we can use, and that is sleep sit neutral loop. Let's have them both perform in this animation. And maybe this time we'll have them facing away from each other, so just change their directions. There we go, and with a bit of adjusting their positions, we can make it look like they are fast asleep. Okay guys, that is all I have for you today. If this tutorial has helped you in any way, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the helpful tutorials that I've got coming up. And if you'd like to support me and get some exciting rewards like early access to these tutorials and personal help from me, head over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/author Joseph Evans, or click on the join button underneath this video. If you have any questions about any of this, make sure to comment them down below, and if you know the answer to anyone else's questions in the comments, it would be great if you could give them a quick answer to help them out. Thank you so much for watching guys, good luck getting your own characters under bed sheets, and I will see you all next time.